All right, how's it going, Naseef?
What up, what up?
What's up? Hey, so welcome to the Illuminati channel. We are here, this is immediately after the ICL match, which we're gonna go player by player. And our first player that went in the first round was Naseef. So Naseef, do me a little bit of a favor, like just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your history with TCGs, and then just a little bit about how that match went for you and some of the things that you had going on as you were playing that match.
It's a lot of stuff. Okay.
I know.
So let's start with, my name's Naseef. I go by Chaotic Beats online with a K and a Q. It's weird. Today I played Ruby Sapphire against Amber Emerald. Accomplishments in TCG history. I kind of skipped over that. So I've been playing TCGs for over 10 years now, I think. I started, obviously when I was a kid I was playing like Yu-Gi-Oh! I had Pokemon cards. I didn't really get serious with it though. But at some point, 2015-ish, 2016-ish I think, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Got into Pokemon for a while. Had some success in Pokemon, but the game is very solitaire. So it wasn't for me. So when the Dragon Ball Super card game came out, it's known as Masters now, because they rebooted it, a whole bunch of stuff. When that came out, I picked that up, sold all my Pokemon, and I played that up until, I still dabble in it here and there, but I'm still playing it. It's been out for 7 or 8 years at this point, and yeah, I've played in nationals for that and done pretty well. But yeah, back to today's match. We played Ruby Sapphire against Chernadog, as the kids like to call it. It wasn't the standard Chernadog build. As far as I know, there was a 1-drop Clarabelle and a 7-drop Clarabelle. Yep. There was 0 to Hero and Plutos to cheat out some of the big things earlier. And there was Stitch Carefree Surfer. So if some of those things hit the board early in the game, for any deck it's problematic to deal with them. Fortunately, none of those techs really came into play. The 0 to Hero was played against me once, but the deck goes very, very fast. It goes fast, it plays Chernabog to put you in check, and if you don't have the answer, you lose to the big, scary guy. Yeah, I was unfavored. I was on the draw, going second in both games. It ended 2-0, surprisingly, because I had terrible openings. Game 2, I had to turn 1 Vitalosphere, turn 2 hide away my own Vitalosphere to ramp, and then on turn 3, I didn't have an inkable card in my hand, so I skipped ink and just played a human Sisu. So, not the ideal start. We clawed our way back though. Game 1, also, I think my opponent, she got to like 17 or 18 lore, and I saw 3 Pirates Lives that game. So, little preview of what's in the deck. We got some tools.
Yeah, I think we can get into it and maybe talk a little bit, like as you're showing your cards. Let's start with one question. Well, actually, before we go there, let's start with a question. What led you to play this color combination into the ICL? Like, what was it that locked you into this color combination?
So historically, I'm an Amethyst Steel player for the last 4 sets at this point. I picked it up at the start of set 4, and I've been playing it ever since. I love the deck. I think the deck's really good. I think its ceiling is considerably lower than a deck like Ruby Sapphire. And I felt at times limited by my deck choice when I was playing Purple Steel, where there were boards I legitimately just didn't have the answers for in my deck. So no matter how well I played, I couldn't do anything. I also play a lot of Jafar Wheel. I love that deck. I tinker with it all the time. I have tons of ideas about it. But when I need to put on my big boy pants and play like a meta deck, I enjoy Ruby Sapphire because it has all the tools you would need to win any game against any deck. Theoretically, hyper aggro decks are your worst matchup, but this build, which I'm not going to take credit for, another local player by the name of Hector made the list, but I'll explain some of the play lines and rationale from my understanding and my point of view. Hector actually did well with it. Shout out to him at CCS last weekend. But yeah, it's the deck that gives me the best chance to win through skill expression rather than the luck of the draw.
Yeah, and we definitely saw that as you 2-0'd your opponent, Clara, which, GG for her. Like, that was a well-fought fight, came really close, which I thought was, of all the matches that we saw tonight, those were the two most exciting matches, was the two that you had, so.
Yeah, they were barn burners.
Yeah, they were. All right, so I think it's time. Let's just dig right into the deck.
Sure.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about some of the ratios and just walk through like the most important things that we would expect.
Let's start with the most important 9 cards in the deck. We got Tipo, we got Hideaway, and we got Sail the Azurite Sea. Hideaway is our 9th copy of Ramp. There are times where you don't see these guys, and you need to get to 4 ink on turn 3, otherwise the deck feels really bad. So you just hide away whatever item you played on turn 1. I ended up having to do it in my game 2, and it worked out remarkably. For those not in the know, all of these on turn 2 allow you to add another card to your inkwell, putting you at 3 ink at the end of your turn 2. Sail the Azurite Sea draws a card and has the benefit of allowing you to ink in ready mode. So if you have another 1-cost play, you get to make that. These really are just what I mulligan for. If my opening hand doesn't have any of these in them, I'm just sending everything back. The only card I'll keep is a Popsicle because it'll help me dig, but I send away Hiram, I send away Tala. I know lots of players like keeping them, but unless I already have the ramp, I don't feel comfortable keeping a card. I won't play until turn 4 if I don't see the ramp. It is a little risky, but it works out more times than it doesn't. Tipo is nice because against a deck like Chernodog that I played against today, they're playing the 2-drop Ursula to get rid of our songs. So Tipo lets us put away the B prep, lets us put away the extra stuff, the how far I'll go maybe that we think they're going to hit out of our hands. So Tipo's nice for that, but more times than not, I'm going to be inking the Tipo and playing the Sail just to dig deeper into my deck and kind of filter my hand to a point where I'm comfortable playing the game. Yeah, that's our ramp package. Let's talk about some of the characters. 3 human Sisu. We have to respect aggro. The way I play the deck is with that in mind constantly, is just do the math, count the numbers, see how close they can get to winning, keep them off of it. Sisu helps a lot with that, especially with the new Sapphire coil. Being an evasive quester that also is a shift target is another benefit of that. We got 3 Tala. I used to be adamant about playing 4 copies of this card, even when people were cutting it down to 3 and 2. I think consistency is key in any card game you play. The more consistency pieces you have in your deck, the better it's going to be across a large sample size of games. To that end, we have Hiram as well, which we might as well talk about the item package next. This card needs to be errata. Make it draw 1 or something. I don't know. Get rid of this card. When you play this character and when he quests, you banish one of your items to draw 2 cards. So we have Popsicle. When you play it, draw a card. We have Vitalosphere, which gives our characters Rush and +2 Strength for the turn at the cost of 1 ink. And then we have Sapphire Coil. Coil actually never came up today. The only time I used it was for Hiram food. I don't know if I'm right about this. It would kind of hurt our uninkable count, but I could see a world where we go back to ice blocks either alongside the coils or replacing the coils altogether. Just because the cost of having to ink a card from hand in the late game when you might not have the resources to do so really does hurt you and kind of loses you games at times where you're giving them your whole hand to out something, and now they have other stuff to play afterwards. But yeah, just 10 items. It's a good count. It gets the job done. And we are playing the new Tamatoa to recycle them, so we never run out. 3 Maui. I've seen this card at 2. I've seen it at 1. I think 3 is the correct number. Again, respect aggro. If that's the thing we're losing to the most, we need to have the answers for it. I know people were on Super Goof. I don't hate Super Goof, but the 6 strength really helps you deal with locations and big bodies. People are playing stuff like Bianca now, which is just a big 5/5 that you would need a double coil trigger, or our next card, Medusa, to answer. It's just Maui is such a powerful stat line, and Rush is always going to be relevant. And against decks like Purple Steel, once that Maui is down, they're either trading something back into it or wasting a song on it that will allow this next card to live, or the following card. Let's talk about the best 6 drops in the game right now. We got Tamatoa and Maui Shark. Tamatoa first, just because he's such a powerful consistency piece. Tala being at 3 is okay with me now because we have Tamatoa to recycle our popsicles and really continue our draw engine. This deck used to feel like it was live or die by the Hiram. If you had a game where you didn't see Hiram, it felt terrible. I feel like now I can not see Hiram until the late game, or not see one at all, and I can live off of Talas, Tamatoas, and how far all goes, and visions, whatever it may be. Maui Shark is the centerpiece of the deck. This card, it's when I talked about how aggro decks can put you in check with the turn a dog, this card puts aggro decks in check. This card says, if you turn sideways, I'm gonna be 2 to 3 times as scary next turn as I would have been. Turning your whole discard pile into a resource well is absurd. 7/5 evasive is a stat line that's really hard for any deck to deal with. Zeus is the best answer, but again, if they're wasting a Zeus on the Maui, the Tamatoa is living, the Sisus are living. Maui Shark is phenomenal. Probably the best card in the deck after Pirate's Life, I would say, and Sisu. Sisu, we talked about shift earlier. She can shift on the human Sisu for 6, but we usually get to 8 or 9 ink before we stop inking. And that's just the happy place to play a Sisu, wipe our opponent's board. The one-sided board wipe is such a tempo swing that some decks just can't recover from a single Sisu. Shout out to Ember Steel, my favorite deck. We got Sapphire Coil to shrink stuff to make the Sisu more potent. And yeah, beautiful card. Powerful and completely fair. Right, Ravensburger? Next up, we got Vision of the Future. This is a consistency piece. We used to run Develop Your Brain, which was a 1-cost Tala effect, effectively, just a scry. Vision lets us look through the top 5 cards and grab anything. There are times where I'm inking sharks, where I'm inking popsicles over inking Vision, because I know that I need to find a specific card to get back in the game. Vision's fantastic at pulling out that Be Prepared, pulling out that Sisu when you need it, and does so at the low cost of 2 ink, which I think is great. Brawl. There aren't a lot of great Brawl targets in the meta right now, I've noticed. This is more for the aggro stuff. If uninkables weren't an issue, I'd rather have a 4th Sisu. But it's really just there for the daisies, for the if we can coil something and brawl it. It's a necessary evil. The -1 from hand doesn't feel great, but it's it's good removal. How far I'll go is at 3. It's our best turn 5 play if we have to play, or turn 5? No, turn 4 play. So turn 1, ideally, is a popsicle. Turn 2, either a sail or a tipo. Turn 3, we want to play one of our 4 drops, the Tala or the Hiram. I'm losing myself, but then we want to sing How Far I'll Go. This will put us at 6 ink on turn 5, or I'm bad with numbers right now, but it gets us to the ink totals where we're playing the game comfortably before our opponent is putting us on game. Another necessary evil like Brawl is Let It Go. Even with Coil and Medusa, there are certain threats that will be played that we just can't answer. For example, a Maui Shark in the mirror, you need the Let It Go for that. A Chernobog, you need the Let It Go or the Be Prepared. It's recyclable with the Shark, so the 1 copy feels fine. Same with Hideaway. The all-star of the deck, Pirate's Life. I won my first game because I played sung all 3 copies of this. And it just, again, we have to respect aggro. It's our worst matchup, so we play a lot of copies of Pirate's Life to do so. The gain 2 is nice as well because even if you don't have the Shark out, you're putting yourself in a range where once you drop a Sisu plus a Tamatoa, like you're putting them on a 2-turn clock because you had 4 to 6 lore from Pirate's Life earlier in the game. It's a great card. It's crazy that this card existed for a whole set and a half or so, maybe even longer. I think it was like 2 sets before people caught on and were like, oh, this is the sauce. And finally, best card in the game. It gets pitched by Ursula. It gets peated. It gets wheeled away before we get to play it, but we can recycle it with Shark, and it's really good at just answering anything that everything else doesn't answer.
Very cool. Well, you did a fantastic job, Naseef. Like I said, it was very nerve-wracking games.
Oh, you're telling me.
Yeah, we were cheering for you the entire time, and there was moments where I was like, I couldn't sit. I was standing the entire time. I couldn't even sit. So we're very proud of you. Thank you very much for bringing a victory to the Illuminati. Thank you for the deck profile. Is there any other last words that you'd like to share? Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Go follow me on Twitch, and I love my teammates.
We love you too, buddy. All right, cool.
At Chaotic Beats.
That's right.
KHAOTIQBEATS.
There you go. All right. Yeah, go hit my man up at Chaotic Beats. DJ Chaotic Beats.
Oh, Jack's watching.
Of course he is.
One in the world where we're cheering for Red Blue.
Yeah, for real.
If he draws a baby Sisu, he's cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not running as fast as she should be at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why does she still have that out? Because
it's kind of
Oh, that's ink.
pretty hard. That hurts. But you want to feed the Chernobog, but at the same time, that means that you're either feeding characters, you're in this case, what happened? Well, no.
She just didn't play anything. She didn't.
Yeah, so I want to know.
Why would she not play anything? How many cards in her
She
hand?
might have double Chernobog.
She didn't ink last turn. She
Bro.
didn't play anything this turn.
No, that would be great. What do you mean that would suck?
That would suck for her. Sorry, that would suck for her.
Yeah, well, it would suck if she gets another ink, and then
That's 4.
yeah, so she might have a Chernobog and an uninkable.
7.
So he needs to like run the gas now. He needs to start running out there.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Naseef at this point needs to just draw what he can, just try to get his answers.
And that could be what she's in, because if you got 2 Chernobog or 2. But maybe, okay. Chernobog. I don't know.
I mean, he might as well link with. He might as well fuss with Tipo. No, I mean,
No, you need the Tipo to swing into a Daisy. If
they're gonna challenge him.
This is what it is right now.
I mean, that would help.
It's not good.
Yeah, he might as well twice get one on the
It's
board.
not the worst thing that's ever happened, but it's still true.
Because if worst case scenario they attack him, especially then he has enough time to ramp up the things.
So after you're done with your match, they're gonna ask you questions about the match. So try to think about like what happened throughout the match because they're gonna like
Oh
ask
yeah,
you.
I was there. I'm like, well, so why'd you play this? I'm like,
You know
it
what?
was a card in my hand.
Great question. I don't know.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Now,
It's just the best thing.
now he can.
It's good and bad. It's good, it's good that he won, but it's like it really.
Yeah. Now I get to go play Red Bull.
Really
This is
makes,
gonna be
really
fun.
makes it like.
Respect the man, Light Yagami. Show nothing but respect for this man.
Don't slay the Yasuo. I'll show you my card for free. So that was
Alright.
rough,
I'm
but
gonna
we'll-
swap over.
That was rough. You're not wrong, Katie. That was rough. Woof, woof, woof. Get it? Churna dogs, baby. Let's go.